payout in the sequence. Over $7,600 in the late Big Five. First leg of this year's Triple Crown for the first time ever. It, again, will be the Belmont Stakes. A one-turn, mile and an eighth traditionally. We know that's the test of the champion. A mile and a half is the final leg of the Triple Crown, but this year, due to COVID-19, everything has changed.
And again, I think it was the only reasonable option considering the circumstances that we've all been dealing with. You've got 3-year-olds that didn't have the opportunity to race into that condition, get the foundation that would be necessary for them to be proficient at the mile and a half. So this year, it's a mile and an eighth. It's different, but it's the prudent move in what's been going on in our world right now.
And if you want to be alive for a Triple Crown, obviously you got to line up at the Belmont Stakes. Kentucky Derby with the first Saturday in September. Preakness will be on October 3rd as the third and final leg in the Belmont Stakes. Of course, Tiz the Law likely will head into that race as a pretty heavy favorite, winner of the Holy Bull and the Florida Derby.
There's just so much to like about this horse. Look at the way he's traveling. He stays in the bridle. He's got a serious demeanor about him. I believe this is Manny Franco aboard for this work. And he could not look any better. He's got an efficient stride. Not the biggest horse, but he covers a lot of ground. And he's going a minute and change here. He looks like he's in an open gallop, and you could see it is Manny Franco aboard. He never moves his hands. He doesn't move a muscle on this horse, and he's just galloping. Right here, he gives him just a little bit more rein to work with to make sure he gallops out. But when a horse works this well, where they look like they're doing nothing and they're going much faster, that's the mark of a good horse. His gallop out's tremendous here, too. He is actually going better the eighth after the wire than he was the eighth before the wire.
4 for 5 in his career. The only loss in the resume, Kentucky Jockey Club on a sloppy track where he was sort of trapped inside for much of that race. He's been brilliant throughout his career. Same connections, of course, who brought you Funny Side. That worked 5 furlongs. That was on Monday in 1 minute and 4/5.
And there you see his conditioner, Barkley Tag, on the pony behind him as he came up here in the paddock. He could not look better. Picture of health. And Barkley Tag, I have such utmost respect for him. His assistant trainer, Robin Smullins, they do a fantastic job. Old school horsemanship, hands-on with every single one of their runners. And when they win, you absolutely are happy because you know the effort they put in, the time they put in with their horses. And, you know, Barkley Tag, he won a Kentucky Derby. He wins another one. You got to think his resume certainly would be worthy of the Hall of Fame.
There's so many great trainers in this game who've been doing it for such a long time, who've won a lot of big races, but they're not in the headlines day in and day out like the Bob Bafferts and the Chad Browns.
Sure.
But Barkley Tag is one of those guys, career horseman, veteran. He's won already, as you mentioned, the Kentucky Derby. But, yeah, likely, if he can, would be a lock.
I think it would absolutely have to be a lock.
Meanwhile, Brendan Walsh, he got his first ever Grade 1 win of his career with this horse. Would have loved to see Max Wheelfield going forward. He was going to skip the Belmont. He was pointing to the Bluegrass. He is now out of consideration for the Belmont Stakes, unfortunately, with an issue, and that's just sad to see because this horse had so much talent.
Yeah, it's a shame. And, you know, the late, great Hall of Famer Charlie Whittingham said it best. Horses are like strawberries. They can go bad overnight.
We're going to be saying goodbye to those watching on Fox Regionals all across the country. We will be continuing on Fox Sports 2. You can switch and see us over there for the remaining half hour of our show as you look at those probable